In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful, let me thank Almighty Allah for being fine and healthy. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I'm glad to be here for the lecture number 12 of the subjects of sociology. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the topics of importance of education. So let today, in the same series, we are going to discuss about the importance in top 10 reasons that why education is important. So we're talking about those 10 points today. First, important things for why education is extremely important, that is for a happy and a stable life. تحصیل بسیار مهم و ضروری است به خاطر یک زندگی پر از لذت و یک زندگی ثابت. د یو ښه ژوند او د یو دوامداره ژوند د یو پرثباته ژوند لپاره موږ تحصیل یا زده کړې ته ضرورت لرو. نو دغه دپاره ځکه دا یو دلیل کیدلی شي چې موږ غواړو یو همیشه یو بهترین ژوند او دا دوامداره بهترین او پرسکونه ژوند ولرو، نو موږ تحصیل ته ضرورت لرو. دا یو ریزن دی. په دې خاطر باندې خلک تحصیل کوي، زده کړه کوي. If you want to lead a happy life and enjoy the good things the world has to offer, you certainly need to get educated. A great job, a good social reputation are a few of the many benefits of being an educated person. So education is must for promoting and securing your future in a stable life. So that's why it's very much important for your future secure life and to be stable and happy and joyous life without good and pleasure moments. If you would like to have it, so you need to have a good educations and you need to go get educations. Second thing itself, well, most people say in talking about that education itself, it's wealth, it's an asset, it's a money. تحصیل خودش پول است. وقتی که تحصیل باشه میتونیم ما همیشه در هر جای میتونیم کار کنیم، پول را به دست بیاریم. من حیث مثلا شما میخواین یک دکتر شین، در هر کوی دشت و قریه و سرک اگر شما یک کلینیک خود داشته باشین میتونین شما به انسانها خدمت انجام بدین و از این طریق شما رزق حلال را بیارین. همین قسم در هر عرصه زندگی میتونین. تحصیل خودش پول است. تحصیل باشه پول خود به خود بیاید. uneducated باز طوری سرمایه هستند که این تحصیل که هستند باز هیچ کس از ما کسی گرفته نمیتونه، این دزدی کرده نمیتونه این تحصیل. شاید پول از ما کسی مردم بتواند بگیره به زور به چل فریب، لیکن تحصیل چیزی هستند که نمیتونم از ما کسی را دزدی بکند، به خاطر یک سرمایه خاص هستند. An educated person has more chances of landing up a good high paying job. Everybody wants a good life, but the good life, it may be called as the root of all evils. But most people will agree that money is important for survival in today's world. The more educated you are, the better career options you will have in your futures. هر چقدر که تحصیل زیاد کردی اونقدر شما چانسی ایرا دارین که وظیفه خوبتر و بهترین را داشته باشین در آینده. یک فرصت کاری بهترین میتواند شما به دست بیارین اگر شما چقدر زیاد تحصیل کرده باشین. خودی چقدر که شما تحصیل زیاد بکنین مقدم حیثیت شما در جامعه، اما قسم عزت و حیثیت شما در جامعه فرق میکند و اساس رتبه و با اساس امتیازات میتونین شما پول زیادی را به دست بیارین. So education is money itself. Forgetting of money, education is important. But it's not important that all those people that they're getting education is for the purpose of money. No, money will automatically come because it is many. It's having an interrelation with each others. So if you are serving someone, it means that you are serving someone in the sake of might be someone is paying back you. So that's why it might be in the form of money. Equalities. علم به خاطر ما میکنیم که ما در جامعه انصاف و مساوات را عملی بسازیم. در میان مردم ما حق و ناحق را جدا کنیم، درست و نادرست را جدا کنیم. انصاف عدل ما فراهم زمین سازی و به خاطر فراهم سازی مساوات و عدل و انصاف در جامعه ما به خاطر زمین سازی میکنیم. If you want to see the world as a just and fair place where everyone is given equal opportunities, education is what we require. Education is a must if you want to do away with the existing difference between different social classes and gender. It opens a whole world of opportunity for the poor so that they might have an equal shot at a well-paying jobs. So that's why education always play a major role in women empowerment as well. So equality would be only possible by getting of proper education to understand between the good and bad, right and wrong, moral and immoral. So justice and injustice, being fair and unfair, if you all understand about all these things in our daily life with the help of education, so we might give a good opportunity, an equal opportunity for everyone, that they should have an access for all this, just to have their own life to enjoy. Because the classification and differentiations in social class and gender would be removed. If today it's an obstacle, tomorrow it may not be, if we get the education, because through education we bring equalities, we bring justice. As well as this education makes you self-dependent. अगर शुमा self-qualified बाशिन, مثلا शुमा qualified बाशिन, मुतखसिस बाशिन, तहसील करदा बाशिन, طبعا شما به کسی وابسته نیستین دیگر. شما میتونید زندگی خود را به شکل خودتان به پیش ببرین، به خاطری که شما یک چیز را یاد دارین، مخترع میشین، اختراع میکنین، یک چیز را پیش میبرین. شما میتونید تحصیل کرده باشین، میتونید یک چیزی نو را پیدا کنید. به کسی وابسته نمیدانید شما، ولی آزاد زندگی شما اختیار میکنید. اگر شما بی‌سواد و جاهل و بی علم باشین، میتونید شما زندگی خود توسط دیگران به پیش ببرید. جای چوکیدار باشین، جای مامور باشین، جای دیگه چیز باشین، تا که شما اگر وانه باشه شما کار نکنه امرایشن، فقط شما نمیتون زندگی را به پیش ببرید. به خاطر میگیم it makes you a self-confidence and self-dependent. Education is very important if you want to be a self-dependent person. It helps you become financially independent, but that is not all. Education also makes you wiser so that you can make your own decision. So for that reason it's very important that we get the educations, because it makes you wiser and it makes you to do a great decision in a great time. Having a great decision in a great time, it's because of only education that you might be having. If you are illiterate and you are not wise and not smart enough, so how is it possible that a good decision will come out from your mind? Because good decision will come from those minds who are already been qualified in respective field, and they have the thoughts and ideas are very much informative for day-to-day life activities. So this education makes everyone to be a self-dependent, in which you would not be dependent on your other family members or society. It means you can do everything whatever you wish to do in your futures for your own self. As well as this education will turn your dreams into realities. څومره انسان چې څه قسم خوبونه خیالونه په ذهن کې لري، هغه خوب او خیال په حقیقت چې موږ غواړو بدل کړو، هغه تحصیل او زده کړه او علم ته ضرورت لرو. نړۍ چې نن پرمختګ کړې، یوازینی علت د هغوی خوبونه چې رښتیا شوي، یوازینی علت د هغوی واقعیتونه چې په غیر حقیقت حالتونه چې په حقیقت بدل شوي، د یوازینی علت تعلیم زده کړه ده. What's your dream, your aim in life? Do you want to become rich? Do you want to become popular? Do you want to become an extremely successful person who is respected by people? Well, the key to all this is education. If you all want to become asking this question from yourself, and you want to be like these, answer all these questions, and you want to bring all these characteristics in yourself, and this feature present in you, then you need to get the educations. Of course, there are exceptions, like sportsmen who don't really owe their success to the education. However, in most cases, your degree is what helps you realize all your dreams come true. So, understanding of human understanding on a specific occasion in order to solve the problem is relevant to the specified field of education that the person is having. If not, he may not be able to have it. The same things, this education makes the world a safer and more peaceful place. So education majorly affects our understanding of the difference between rights and wrong. An educated person is well aware of the consequence of a wrong and illegal action, and he is less likely to get influenced and do something which is not legally, morally right. Also, a number of uneducated people who live a poverty-stricken life owing to lack of opportunity often turn to illegal ways such as theft and robbery to solve their problem. If you are educated, you are well aware of your rights, the law, and your responsibility toward the society. Hence, education is an important factor which contributes in social harmony and peace. So, if you would like to have a peace in a social harmony, if you would have a very developed social life, then you need to be secure in society, to have a peaceful life, then you need to have a good education. Because it always, by the help of education, it always tells you what are the bad consequences of the things that you might be doing in your futures. So what are the result of that? If that is having illegal and very bad consequences, you might be not doing that one, because if you are well informed about that, if you are educated about that. If you don't know about the ill consequences and the bad consequences of an action, so you might be refrained to do it. So that's why education makes us the world to be a safer and more peaceful place. As well as it makes you self-confidence. چا چې تعلیم کړی هغه خلک په انسانان په خپل ځان باندې اعتماد لري، ځکه ځان د پاره یو څه کولی شي. د ځان د اعتمادي او د ځان د بهترین ژوند لپاره موږ تحصیل او زده کړې ته ضرورت لرو. Your educational degree is considered as a proof of your knowledge by many. If you are educated, you may have more chance of being heard and taken seriously. Generally, an uneducated man will find it harder to express his views and opinions owing to lack of confidence. Even if he does so, people may not take him seriously. Education gives you the confidence to express your views and opinions almost in every place. چا چې زده کړه او تعلیم کړي انسان ته جرأت ورکوي، د اعتماد په نفس باندې زیات پیدا کېږي. دی به هر چېرته مدلل انسان به وي، ډېر جراره انسان به وي. دی به خپل نظریات او خپل معلومات بدون د کومه ویرې نه دوی انسانانو سره شریکوي د یو مسلې په حل کې. نو په دې خاطر باندې که تاسو غواړئ په ځان باندې اعتماد او په ځان باندې باجرأته اوسئ او په ټولنه کې یو باجرأته بااحساسه ژوند وکړئ، نو تاسو علم ته مخه کړئ، علم لاسته راوړئ. دا به د ټولو بدبختیو نه هغه چې تاسو په فردي او په اجتماعي ټولنه کې ورسره مخ کېږئ، د هغه دپاره یو بهترینه دوا وي. همداسې د ټولنې د پیشرفت او د ټولنې د کامیابۍ دپاره موږ هم ډېر مهم خبره دی چې هغه تحصیل ته ضرورت لرو. موږ ټولنه بغیر د ټولنې پرمختګ بدون د تعلیم یافته انسانانو نشي کېدلی. We all live in a society which has its own set spokesmen, its own set spoken and unspoken rules, and one of them is education. The society expects you to go to school, followed by college, get a job, settle down. In fact, education helps you become a useful member of the societies. که غواړئ تاسو په ټولنه کې او تحصیل کولی شئ، تاسو ته په ټولنه کې د یو مفید انسان په شکل تاسو یو ټولنې ته وړاندې کړئ چې په دې اساس باندې تاسو کولی شئ هم ټولنې انسانیت ته خدمت وکړئ. An educated member certainly has a greater chance to contribute to his community. Education helps you become an active member of the society and participate in the ongoing changes and developments of a society and country. As well, for economic growth of the nation, it's very important to have an education. د یو ملک د اقتصادي نشت و نمو د پیشرفت لپاره موږ تحصیل او زده کړې ته ضرورت لرو. Australia, USA, and Japan are a few countries with very high literacy rate. These countries are extremely prosperous and the citizens have a high per capita incomes. On the other hand, in underdeveloped and developing nations where literacy rate is not as high, a number of people are still living below the poverty line. So education is vital for the economic prosperity of nations. د یو ملک د اقتصادي پرمختګ دپاره موږ تحصیل او زده کړې ته ډېر ضرورت لرو. ټول پرمختللي هېوادونه چې نن د ژوند څنګه خوند اخلي هغوی علت په تعلیم او زده کړه کې وو. دا چې اوس موږ د ودې په حال کې هېوادونه د دې تعلیم د برخې څخه اوس اکثره وخت د د بېسوادۍ کچه پکې زیاته ده، ډېر مشکلات سره مخ یو، ډېر مشکلات موږ ورځ کې زغمو. دغه مشکلات کولی شي موږ د سواد د کچې د لوړوالي په اساس باندې د منځه یوسو. save you from being fooled and cheated. چا چې علم زده کړه کړی هغوی به د دوکې چل فرید نه محفوظ وي. څوک به هغوی د دوکو چل نشي ورکولی ځکه هغوی په لوستلو لیکلو پوهېږي. Education saves you from being exploited and fooled. We live in a country where we enjoy a number of rights and freedom. It's easier to take advantage of innocent and illiterate people. They may be trapped into signing false documents or be deprived of some rights which they have because, unlike an educated person, they are not well aware of their rights and freedoms. So, as it's very clearly stated in importance as well, so function of education, there are two main functions of educational institution in every society: manifest function and latent function. So manifest functions are those functions which are achieved directly and which are visible or manifested. So what the education do? The function is transmission of culture. It is only possible by transmission of culture, is possible by education. School, college, university are transmitting the generation to generation these patterns of living to one society, one generation to next. It's possible only by getting of education. So transmission of the culture. The education system transmits our culture value to the next generation. Every generation adds something from its experience while passing to next one. Example, the mosque in the worship, the marriage custom and other values are transmitted through cultural traits. Innovations, اختراع چې کېږي یو شی نوی چې ټولنې ته راځي مخترع کېږي، نوی شی دنیا ته پېژندل کېږي، کشف کېږي، دا په تعلیم باندې کېږي، هسې نه کېږي. So in education as institution, innovation is a society. It creates the sense in the student to invent something new. Character formations. This is one of the major function of education, to build the character of the student. They learn the social and cultural value, does and don't, what to do, what not to do. And some powerful member of the societies, make them to become some powerful member of the society. The character is a morality which is transmitted through educations. As well as this education is preparing us for occupational rules, because as we say, education is a gateway to profession. So the education, it prepares us for being help in respect to the patient. It helps us to become a doctor, to construct roads and dam and buildings. We need to become engineer as well as the politicians. So it do prepare us for many professional in occupational role. The educational institution provide the opportunity to the individual for the occupation and guide them to perform their occupational rules. The teacher performs the duty or role to socialize and make the student to perform the active role in the welfare of the community. Doctor to cure patient. It also prepares student to serve the nation in various fields. So education gives the courage to select the professions, and as well as personal adjustment. By education, an individual makes personal adjustment with the environment in which he lives. He or she can easily adjust itself in the social group and community. The education or socialize the individual is to be adjusted in all the social situation, and that is only possible by help of getting a proper education. If proper education is not being taken, so definitely a personal adjustment will be very difficult in a given communities to adjust ourselves. So socialization is another function of the education's. School teach the students rules, specific academic subjects and political socialization, and as well as schools are responsible for identifying the most qualified people to fill available position in societies, which is called a social placement. It teaches about how to live in a family. It teaches the love with a country and a nation, that is called a patriotism, and it teaches the techniques of a learning of a new skills. So to teach the children the basic laws of society, and contribution of the schools is the development of different level of society. That's why we do study for political purpose, just to politically contribute in many ways, just to develop the society. as well as to socialize children into various rule, behaviors, values of society. So for that needs we do this education we get for social purpose, to help and solve social problem, that is for social purpose, to prepare students for their later occupational rules, that is for economic purpose. Social controls, like for example schools are responsible for teaching values such as discipline, respect, obedience, punctuality, and preserving. It is the value that is being taught in school to the children, and children are learning and they are following all these. For that reason, it's function of schools just to make well understand the students regarding their futures. While we are having the latent or unintended function as well, these are those functions which are achieved indirectly or which are invisible or which are called latent functions. It includes reinforcement of social stratifications. Education reinforces social stratification. For example, the person who has got higher education has higher prestige in our society than the uneducated one. So start out from forum due to education. پټولنه کې چې کوم طبقاتي نظام دی چاته ډېر اهمیت او صلاحیت ورکول کېږي د علمیت په اساس باندې، نو په دې خاطر ټولنیز ویش او ټولنیزه درجه چې رامنځته کېږي د علمیت په اساس باندې، نو دا د دې وظایفو څخه دی. همدارنګه اکوینټنس وایډنس، د علم حاصلولو سره زمونږ او تاسو آشنایي د هر څه سره ډېره پراخه کېږي. So to develop their knowledge about different people in areas, their living standards and style, customs. So all these process of interaction can be made possible only by through education. So as well as helps in social control, education enlightens the conception about good and bad. It lets the individual to know about right and wrong. An individual can eradicate deviant behavior from society through educations. So د هغه موږ سره همکاري کوي په ټولنیز کنټرول کې، په ټولنیز کنټرول سارنو نظارت کې انسانان د بدو کارونو د منع کولو په خاطر باندې علم په تر باندې دوی کولی شي د دې بدبختیو نه ځان خلاص کړي او سوشل کنټرول رامنځته په ټولنه کې. او په ټولنه کې چې څومره مشکلات د ټولنیز د هغوی یوازینی حل په تعلیم سره کېدلی شي، نو موږ ځکه وایو چې solution of all social problems is possible by getting of a proper qualified education. Every society has some social problem which needs to be solved. It is the educational institution which provide able and intelligent people for finding out the causes and solution for all these problems which are existing in societies. So education is the only source to which we can collect the data and solve these social problems that is humans are being faced in the societies. In the last we can say education is everything. Education is a life. Education is a peace, education is a prosperity, education is a wealth, and education is a sweet fruit of life. So this is all about the importance of education. So I request every one of you, the students who are being my students in a class, you are all of you are being requested just to send your schools, your children and daughter to schools, your sister to schools. Make them properly educated, that tomorrow they get a good education and they do something good for these nations. So we are all responsible member of society. So my request to everyone is that let every one of your family members to be educated and highly qualified person to serve these poor nations. Thank you very much for your time and being here with me. See you then for the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.